Seriously, losing weight is not for the weak. Let's get into it in today's episode of Seriously. And today, my beautiful girls and gays and days and everybody. Anyways, how are you guys? I've missed you. I literally haven't talked to you guys in such a long time. But you know what? If it's your first time here, my name is Jorelis. I'm a 17-year-old girl who loves to give tips and tricks and advice and to just talk about personal stories. And also, if you feel like you're inspired by my story, then honey, then just take it. Here, I'll give you the inspo here. Use me. Use me, pick me, choose me. Yeah. You see them collarbones, boo? They're popping today. They're popping. Come on, let's... I want to say let's clap. What is this called? Let's snap with me now. Okay. So guys, for today's episode, we're giving a little check-in. We're not only giving a check-in, but we're going to just talk about a few things that I've been going through the past 9 months and why I haven't posted. Not why I haven't posted, but what I've been going through the last few months and just how much my life has changed. And if you take this as an inspiration or you take this as kind of like, okay, now I'm going to take my leap of faith, then take this exactly as that. So let's get started. Like I said, my name is Jorelis or Yarelis, whatever you can say, whatever's easier for you. Like I said, I am 17 and I am 9 months post-op from getting a gastric sleeve surgery. Now, a gastric sleeve surgery is a weight loss surgery where they cut an 80% of my stomach. I'm not sure if they cut less than that. There are people that I've heard that they cut less than that, but they cut a percentage of your stomach off. They cut it. They toss it out to the dogs. No, I'm just kidding. They don't do that. But you get basically a smaller stomach, which means you eat less, and that means that you lose weight. And that is the surgery that I got done. I got that surgery, like I said, 9 months ago. I was 16 years old when I got the surgery done. And I just wanted to talk a little bit about why it's not for the weak and just like what I've been through. Number one, girl, I had to change my whole entire wardrobe, which I kind of love. Because back then and when I was 250 pounds, I now weigh 160 pounds, which means I've lost about 90 pounds in total. And it is such a crazy experience now going into stores and being able to buy like whatever clothing not whatever, because I still have certain, like a little bit of loose skin and certain things that I'm not comfortable with wearing. But there's a lot of things that I am able to wear now that I was never able to wear when I was 250 pounds. So that's the number one. Whole new wardrobe, boo. Love it. My pockets don't really love it, but I love it. It's a really big change on your lifestyle. My lifestyle has completely changed. I do things very differently now. I'm more conscious with the food that I eat. I'm more conscious with the words that I say to certain people. I'm more conscious with the clothing I wear and the shoes I wear and everything. I'm conscious with everything. It's a completely different lifestyle. And also, it's a really big mentality change because I'm no longer a bigger girl. So everything that I was accustomed to from when I was like 7 years old, so when I was 16, I had to completely change the way that I think because I'm no longer 250 pounds. I'm no longer a big girl. And so that's to me like the three big things when it comes to losing weight, which is wardrobe, lifestyle, mentality. Those are the three things. The three wait, what is it? WLM LMW lifestyle, LM mentality, wardrobe, because wardrobe should be last, but I had to say it first because I'm a fashion girl. Anyways, guys, but seriously, let's really talk about what weight loss surgery was for me, what the experience was. I'll give you guys a little mini story time or kind of backstory so you guys can get a little bit of an understanding on why I decided to do this surgery and just kind of what was my why. What was my why, right? So number one, like I said, I grew up plus size my whole life. I think that I started to gain more weight when I turned about maybe 12 years old. which is when I started getting my periods, which I started getting my periods around 11 years old. And then once I hit 12, I was going up and up and up I tried everything to lose weight. I did injections. I did intermittent fasting. I did a lot of weight loss challenges. I did 75 hard, 75 soft. I would go to the gym at 4 a.m. every single day. I would go to the gym twice a day. I would starve myself. I did a lot. I did a lot of things. I would wear sauna suits. I actually even got into sports at one point. Actually, no, more than once. Actually, I got into sports. I did weightlifting, soccer, and none of that helped me lose weight. So I was 16, and I remember it was February of 2025. I went to a gynecologist appointment, and I told my gynecologist, hey, I think I have PCOS because my periods are super irregular. I have signs of insulin resistance, and my doctor has told me that I am insulin resistant, and my neck is super dark, my inner thighs, my armpits, it's like, signs of high cholesterol and signs of insulin resistance. And I do not know how the hell to lose weight. I've been doing this my whole life. I have been trying to lose weight my whole life. I need your help. Like, please help me. Prior to that appointment, I went to another gynecologist, and they told me that I did not have PCOS because I had no cyst on my ovary, because PCOS is polycystic ovary syndrome. So it has symptoms of irregular periods, resistant to insulin, PCOS belly, which is kind of like a round belly, that like stubborn belly fat. It is excuse me. Let me get closer to the mic. It's harder for you to have children because you are what is the word? I don't know the word right now, but it's whatever. So basically, it is a hormonal imbalance. And so I explained that to the first gynecologist I went to. She's like, okay, well, there's no real test for PCOS. There is not a test. The most I can do is we can do a sonogram an ultrasound for your ovaries, and we can check and see if your ovaries have any cysts. And then we can say if you do not or do, or if you do not or you do have polycystic ovary syndrome. So I had no cysts on my ovaries, thank God. And I talk about this on my last episode as well. But obviously, this is me 9 months later after getting the surgery. I hadn't gotten the surgery in the last episode yet. So, yeah. Anyways, I went to another gynecologist. I talked to her. I said, listen, I got tested. I got the ultrasound. I don't have any cysts on my ovaries, but I don't know what else I can have. I've done every test in the book. I had no thyroid issues. Like my doctor told me, you don't have anything that's restricting you from losing weight. The only thing that I think is weird is the fact that your periods are so irregular, that you have the stomach area is very large, and you have the insulin resistance. He's like, my primary doctor told me, I'm going to refer you to a gynecologist because I don't think that this is normal. And if the other doctors that you had beforehand were telling you that this is normal, they need to get fired. Love that doctor. Love you, sir. Anyways, I go to the new gynecologist. I'm telling her my story. I'm over here crying like, boo. I'm giving the boo-hoo story. Honestly, I was really crying for real. I wasn't even joking at that point. I told the gynecologist, I'm like, listen, I really need you to tell me what it is I have. I have no other option here. I need help. I can't deal with this anymore. I'm 250 pounds. I'm the biggest I've ever been. I cannot fit none of my clothes. All the clothes I had in my closet, only two of my pairs of pants would fit me. My shirts were really tight. I had hella knee pain, hella feet pain. I was uncomfortable. I could barely breathe. I was always short of breath, which actually, when I was watching my older podcast episodes, I have 2 other episodes, and you can literally hear my breath. I was so out of breath talking. If I were to be talking for long amounts of periods of time, I was out of breath. I'm kind of out of breath right now because I'm talking very quickly, but that doesn't matter. Okay, we're new and we're improved. Okay, girl, stop with me. Anyways. So my gynecologist tells me, listen, you know what? I'm going to give you a soft yes. I do believe that you have PCOS because honestly, you have all of the symptoms. And since there really is no big test to see if you have PCOS, even if you do not have cysts on your ovaries, that doesn't mean that you don't have PCOS. So if you're a girl and you're listening to this podcast episode right now and you're thinking that you have PCOS and you have all the symptoms, please don't let one doctor or one gynecologist tell you that you don't have something when you feel in your gut that you have something, that something is not right. Because if it weren't for my mother, who was like, no, something's not right. This is not normal. I'm not going to let you guys tell me that this is normal. If it wasn't for her, I probably would have never gotten the surgery. I probably would have never gotten diagnosed with PCOS. I probably wouldn't have done shit, honestly, if I'm being really honest. Why? Because a lot of times in the healthcare system, it's not that they don't care, but they have so many people coming in with so many different symptoms, so many different things and sicknesses. There's really never going to be a doctor that's going to be super laser focused on you unless you are like telling them, listen, I need your help. I need you to do something. I cannot take this. If you are trying to be, start the process to lose weight and start this, you need to be fuerte. You need to be strong with your doctors. You need to tell them, listen, I can't deal with this anymore. I need your help. Because if it wasn't for that, I wouldn't have done nothing. Anyways, I get diagnosed with PCOS. So then I tried doing diets for PCOS, workouts for PCOS, all types of things just for PCOS. Because like I said, now I'm diagnosed and now I have the research to see what I need to help with this hormonal imbalance. And so my mother's the type of person where she wants them to be fixed. She sees me suffering and she sees the way that I've lived my whole life as a bigger person, the things that I've been through. And she's like, you know what? I don't want to see you like this anymore. And I know that you're scared to take a big step. So what am I going to do? I'm going to do the research for you. And so my mom ended up finding a doctor. His name is Dr. Mario Camelo. He is one of the best doctors. I love him. He's amazing. Thank you. And he like watches my Instagram and stuff. So this is a shout out to Numi Clinic, baby. Anyways, let me focus. This is serious, Yarelis. Okay, we're serious today. Anyways, my mom ended up researching him, and he had done 2 of my mother's clients because my mother is a hairstylist. I work in a hair salon. We work together, and so he had did 2 of the clients that my mother had known. And so we spoke with the ladies that he had got done with, and they told us the amazing experience. They gave me so much knowledge. One specific person gave me so much knowledge. They gave me the guidance to go into getting the surgery. And honestly, if I wouldn't have had her and my mom and my sister and all the people in my life that gave me that okay and gave me that push to go forward, I probably wouldn't have gotten surgery, like I said. Because it is a really big decision, and if you don't think that it is, then you're very, very mistaken. So let's get into now the surgery time. So I already talked about the before, the reason why, right? Now I'm 250 pounds, okay? I'm talking to the doctor that's going to do the surgery. We do like a little conference call. We talk about everything. We talk about the issues. I'm sorry, wait, I have something like in my bra. Okay, sorry. So we talk about everything. We set a time. We set a date. They tell me, hey, you just have to buy the tickets. You have to buy the flight. Buy the flight. Let's do the surgery. Like, let's do it. So it was out of pocket. I had as well my family members help me pay for this surgery. And so I get on my flight to go to San Diego, California. From San Diego, California, we go to Tijuana, Mexico. We cross the border. We get to Mexico, and the day before the surgery, which was a Monday, we get to the condominium and we stay there and stuff. And I got the surgery done the next day on June 10th. I get the surgery done on June 10th. It was such it was a great experience, honestly, but it was a crazy experience because I never in my life had been in a hospital like that long, like for more than a day. I had never been sick in a hospital. I never got surgery. I've never even broken a bone before. So to think that I went from never having to do any of that to literally getting a surgery that was cutting my stomach, not even half, but more than half, was a little bit scary. I won't lie to you. And the day before the surgery, it was a very emotional night. I remember like I filmed most of my experience before getting surgery, and afterwards I was gonna make a vlog, but I just never ended up posting it. But the night before, it was spent with me and my mother. We were in the hotel and we spoke a lot, and we talked a lot about, like what I experienced as a bigger person, and just what she experienced being the mother of a bigger person. And it was just like a really like great bonding moment, but it was also like a wow, like this is the beginning to an end, basically. And so the next day I got the surgery. Thank God everything went well. They found out actually that I had a hernia right here on the top of my stomach, underneath the breast area, and I had to get the hernia closed, and which was the reason why my stomach was so large at the top. So crazy. I don't even know how that happened. I don't know. It was just like random, weird. And so I got the hernia closed. My doctor took actually some of the extra fat that was on my organs, and he took some of that off. Everything else went amazing. Everything went great. There was no problems. There was nothing wrong. The nurses were amazing. I had one of the best nurses. Obviously I was in a lot of pain because I had never gotten a surgery before, and I'm super sensitive. But even though I was in a lot of pain, I had great nurses. I actually made a friend when I was over there. And so it was really nice. It was a really nice experience. So actually, let's talk about so the first 2 weeks after getting the surgery were my least favorite weeks of my whole entire life. Okay, because I suffered so much, because like I said, I was used to being a bigger girl. I was used to eating bigger portions. And 2 weeks before the surgery, I actually was on a really strict diet, and 2 days before the surgery I was on a liquid diet. So I kind of had like already prepared myself for the liquid diet afterwards. Excuse me, sorry. But I did not prepare myself for the pain. Okay, guys, I didn't prepare myself for the pain. I had a lot of pain because when you get that surgery done, they pump your stomach up with gas so that it can because when they take the stomach out, they have to I don't really know the process. I'm not a doctor, so I really can't tell you, but I know that my stomach was filled with gas. And so I was very gassy, and I had to walk so that my stomach could be relieved of pain. And also another thing was, I really did not have any wants to eat. I was never hungry. I was not hungry, girl. I did not want to eat. I did not want anything. Okay, boom. Anyways, the only thing I really wanted was ice, and that's all I ate for a good 3 weeks. Not all I ate. Obviously I ate like the pudding and the jello and the bone broth and the shit. But baby, ice was my best friend, because honestly, everybody was like, oh my God, you need to be careful, because if you eat ice, you're going to get anemia. And you're going to, I'm like, girl, that's the only thing that doesn't make me want to throw up and die. So let me eat my motherfucking ice and don't say anything. Okay, thank you. Anyways, so after the 2 weeks, baby, I was like, hey. Oh, wait. Heartburn. Oh, wait. Oh my God, wait, I still got gas. Wait, girl, I gotta go to the gym now. Oh, wait, I gotta, It was a lot. So after the 2 weeks, my voice cracked so bad right now. After the 2 weeks, I did have a little less pain, but like I said, it was only 2 weeks after, so I was still obviously recovering. When was it? Let me check the date, because I do not remember, but I got my surgery done in June 10th, and at the end of August, I actually had to go to the hospital because I was experiencing chest pains. Really, really, really bad chest pain. Who the fuck is calling me right now, guys? Give me like. Okay, guys, I am back. So sorry for the little cut. But like I was saying, I started experiencing really, really bad chest pains at the end of August. So much pain to the point where I had to go to the emergency room. Thankfully, it wasn't anything super duper serious. It was I had my troponin levels in my blood were very high. I don't really know what that means. Like, everything happened and I still don't really know like what caused it. The doctors told me that it usually happens when someone is sick in the home or if you have a very stressful lifestyle. So there were a lot of reasons, but they could not really tell me exactly why that happened to me. But anyways, I say that to say that even after getting the surgery, I did have a little bit of a setback, which was I was only like 3 months post-op. And so then afterwards, I couldn't really do like, really strong, like excessive cardio. And I couldn't really do a lot of strength training. And I couldn't get back into the gym as soon as I would have wanted to, just because I was kind of scared. And oh my God, excuse me. I was a little bit scared. And so I just say that to say that that was my experience right after the weight loss surgery. So I did have a good recovery, excluding that. And then I would say like mid-November, beginning of December, I started going back to the gym. So now I'm like, I would say like 3 months into the gym now. I definitely see a difference in my body, in how I've been feeling. And I'm super like, now that I've lost the 90 pounds, my biggest goal now is to continue to kind of do like body composition, where I'm now not really trying to lose fat but build muscle so that my body can look toned, because I've always loved weight training. I love to, what is that called? Lift weights. Sorry, I forgot how to speak for a second. I love to lift weights. I love all that stuff. So it's definitely something that I am excited to keep doing. And so, yeah. So guys, let's get into what you should expect after weight loss surgery. I have 3 little points that you should expect always, not only with weight loss surgery, but with weight loss in general, because weight loss is something that a lot of people talk about, but everyone has different experiences. Not everyone experiences it the same. And so maybe your goal is different than mine, and maybe the reason why you're doing it is also different than mine. So we all have different things, but this is something that you should always expect no matter what. You have to expect for this to not be easy, because it's not an easy thing. It's not an easy step. It's not something that you can do in like with the blink of an eye. It's not something that you should expect that it's going to be easy, because it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be easy. Unfortunately, I wish that this was easier. And there are days, like, sadly, like I say it, like there are days where I wish I was like normal, quote unquote, because I know that there are people who were born with like a good body, and they were born with like, like the big booty and the small waist and the flat stomach, and they don't have to, no stretch marks, and, they don't have to worry about whether or not this pair of jeans is going to make my stomach pop out, or if I, can wear a bikini. And it's like, it is so hard to wake up every day and be like, okay, today I have to do this and I have to do that so I can better myself. And that's not an easy thing. And it's really not an easy thing when you're like 16 years old and you see everybody around you that they don't have to do those hard decisions, and they don't have to do those things that force them to become a better version of themselves, because they're still growing up and you're not really thinking about that stuff. So that's why I say it's not an easy thing. And the next thing that you should expect with weight loss in general is everything is going to change. Just like I said in the beginning, LMW, lifestyle, mentality, wardrobe is going to change. Okay. Everything is going to change. Nothing's going to be the same. Not only is LMW not going to be the same. I love that. LMW. Not only is that not going to be the same, but the way that people perceive you, the way that people treat you, the way that you talk to people, the way that people talk to you, all of that is going to change. That is not going to be the same, because can I tell you something? I no shade to myself, because I was always a very put together I'm a very put together person. I dress myself very good. I shower, I do my lotion, my perfume, my makeup. I'm cute. Like, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm cute. Like, I'm not trying to be like an egotistical person, but I don't genuinely think that I'm an ugly person. I think that I'm pretty attractive. But now that I've lost weight, it's a different vibe with men. It's a very different vibe with guys that I never experienced when I was bigger. Like, I would get rejected when I was younger as well. Like, not only that, but in middle school and high school, at the beginning of high school, girl, I got rejected by guys so many times, to the point where, like, I was going fucking crazy. I was like, this is not normal. This is literally not normal. This is not normal. But anyways, like I said, everything's going to change. Everything's going to change. Your relationship with your friends, your relationship with your family, your relationship with people that you don't even know. Everything's going to change. Your lifestyle, your mentality, your wardrobe, baby. Everything is going to change. And if you're not ready for that change, then this is not the step that you need to be taking. Which is why I said beforehand, this is not an easy step. Because if you're not ready for change, then this is not something that you should be even considering. Because I always say this is the beginning to an end. I said that earlier too. This surgery to me was the beginning to an end. This process for me was the beginning to an end of a lifestyle that I no longer wanted. So, of course, I am super grateful that I made this decision. And yeah, and I feel happy that I made this decision. I don't regret it. Obviously, like I said before, there are moments in my life where I'm like, fuck, like, I'm not normal anymore. Like, I just can't, like, eat like a regular, like, full meal and do this and do that. I have to drink medicine and vitamins all the time, and I have to do this, and I have to do specific workouts for this part of my body, and I want to do it. Like, everything changes, and everything is very meticulous, and you have to be conscious of this and self-aware of that, and it's a lot for your mentality. It's a lot for your mental. It's a lot for your mind to wrap around, especially if you're a young girl who is thinking about getting the surgery. This is not going to be easy. You need to realize that you can't do something because everybody else is telling you to do it. If you have a gut feeling, because, girl, I believe my gut, girl, because I had a gut, girl. I still got me a little gut. When I had my gut and she's still there because she hasn't left yet, when my gut feeling tells me you should not do this, I don't do it. Because there's always going to be a time where you're going to have a gut feeling that's going to tell you you should not do this. So don't do it. Last thing that you should expect when you have that weight loss transformation, the weight loss surgery vibe, journey, whole thing, you need to realize that you're going to be seeing your body in different stages multiple times, and you're not going to get used to your body so quickly. Your mind is going to be like, I'm 250 pounds, and your body's going to be like, I'm 160 pounds. Your body, the way that you're going to see your body may not be always positive. It may sometimes be negative. I'm not going to lie. Most of the time, the way that I perceive my own body and my own self sometimes is very negative. I can be kind of mean to myself. And I think that a lot of younger girls are like that. When they, like, look at themselves in the mirror, they don't feel the greatest. And we can be mean to ourselves. And I feel like with this type of journey, we have to realize that we are human. We're not perfect. We're not going to heal in 2 seconds. We're not going to have the dream body that we want in 2 days. That's not possible. So that's what you should expect with this weight loss. You should expect to see yourself in different stages. You should expect to not feel so confident some days, and some days feel super confident. And you having to deal with that body image and having to see yourself differently in different stages, it's not really an easy thing again. And that's why I keep saying that it's not an easy thing, because it's really not. Like, your mind, your body changes so quickly that your mind stays behind. Like, literally. Like, I'll tell you, like, there are some days where I look at myself in the mirror and I see that girl that was 250 pounds. And I feel bad. Like, I actually, like, was thinking about this the other day, the fact that I feel bad for the girl that I was. And I just feel bad for her because I stopped myself from doing a lot of things that I wanted to do. I stopped myself from a lot of opportunities and friendships and relationships and activities that I would do, like on vacation and stuff, and pictures that I would take and videos that I would do with you guys. I stopped myself from that because I was insecure and I didn't like the way that I looked, and I hated the way that I sat down in a certain position, or the way that the pictures like would show like this side of my body, and I don't want anybody else to go through that. So I always say, like, honestly, this was the best decision I made. And so that's why I decided to make this episode, because I thought, let me talk about what it really was for me. But yeah, guys, so that is what you should expect with the weight loss. And now this is my advice for my girlies in 2026. If you're listening to this because you have been looking up certain like weight loss tips, or you're trying to go toward the decision to getting weight loss surgery, this podcast episode is for you. This is for the girls. If you're a guy, this is for you too, honestly. I cannot talk on the experience of a guy because I'm not a guy, I'm a girl, right? So this is my advice for everybody who is listening. Do not let anybody stop you from making the decision that you know that you need to make. Because I did have some people in my life that knew me, obviously, that when I told them that I was thinking about getting the surgery, they, for one, were like, no, you can't get that surgery. I knew this person, they died when they got it. You shouldn't do that. You're too young, you're too this, you're too that. I hate people like that. Not only do I hate people like that, but I do not appreciate people like that. Because I understand this is a scary thing. This is not something that's going to be fun or cutesy. But you know what's not fun and cutesy either? Is dying at 18 because you can't breathe and you can barely walk. And I didn't want to get to that point. And so that's why I say, do not let anybody stop you from getting the surgery, or getting on injections to lose weight, or even going to the motherfucking gym, or starting a diet plan. Stop letting people stop you from you becoming who you need to become, because it's only going to be you that's going to make you you. That's it. That's the only thing that you can do is you. Y ya. Entonces, hágalo, mija. Ponte rápido. Let's go. Let's do it. It's 2026. Oh, wait, my thing's like, Anyways, not only, okay, next little advice. I have two more advices that I should give you, that I'm going to give you, because I'm the advice queen. Anyways, my next piece of advice is, honey, you got this. Stop not only letting other people stop you, but stop stopping yourself, okay? Because in this world, in this very big world, the only people that we should be caring about, the number one person we should be caring about is ourselves. Because at the end of the day, and I will always say this, and I just said this 2 seconds ago, and I said this a few minutes ago, and I said this whatever, you only have you. You only got you. That's it. You're not taking care of yourself because you're scared of this happening and you're scared of that happening. Okay, that's fine. You're scared. And that's okay. It's okay to be scared. It is okay to be scared. It's okay to have fear of this happening to you and of this. You need to do your research. You need to research what's going to happen. You need to research good doctors. You need to research this and this and this. Research. That's my last piece of advice. Research. If you don't research and you do not look up and you don't if you don't do nothing, you're not going to be able to help yourself. You're not going to be able to become the version that you want to become. Okay? And yeah, that's my last piece of advice. Don't let anybody stop you. You freaking got this. And research. Anyways, okay guys. I'm getting too aggressive. I don't want you guys to think I'm going to try to fight you. Anyways, so guys, I hope that you loved this episode. I loved filming it. I am so excited for the next episode because I want to do more fun and cutesy episodes, but obviously I'm such a serious girl because my podcast is called Seriously, so we're very serious around we talk about serious topics here, like hello. But hopefully you guys will love this episode. Hopefully you'll listen to it without any problems. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments about my doctor or just about anything. You guys can always ask me questions. I'll be posting this podcast episode on Spotify and as well as YouTube. And if you guys don't already follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I'll put my TikTok and Instagram on this side. And thank you guys so much for watching. I love you guys so much. And thank you for watching. Seriously. And we'll talk in the next episode.